Critical elements of strong copy. Imagine that your neighbor's house is on fire and they don't know it. You look around for a phone to call the fire department, but your cell phone battery is dead and your landline is already burned out. Things are looking bleak, but you've got one tool at your disposal, a megaphone. If you say just the right words, you can get the attention of your neighbor and make the call that saves their life. So, what do you say? Do you tell a joke? Do you introduce yourself and tell them your name? Do you describe the charred remains of their coffee table? If your first words aren't, "Hey, your house is on fire," then your neighbor isn't going to make it. Headlines. Unless you're some sort of hermit, you're deluged with advertisements from morning coffee to midnight snack. An advertisement that even has a chance of getting you to take immediate action has to stand out and make an immediate impression. If it's boring or irrelevant, the rest of the ad doesn't matter because nobody will read it. Your headline isn't just the way you introduce the following content. It is going to draw your readers in and in turn lead to more sales. This makes the headline the most important part of your sales letter and other types of content. You accomplish that goal by igniting curiosity or making a strong promise that relates directly to their needs. What are the building blocks of a good headline? Specific benefits. If you can get down into exact numbers of what people will get, it makes it easier for people to imagine. Emotional appeal. Think about the hot buttons we mentioned earlier. Is there a way your headline can touch on these? Urgent. Is there a limited time people can get your offer, or a reason they should buy today? The reader will benefit from reading your ad. If your headline promises a benefit to the reader if they'll just read the message, you have a better chance of drawing interest. Let's talk about a few of the headline types that get that done. Now you can join. This headline is based off the concept of social proof. A customer might be skeptical of your product, but a first sentence like this implants the idea that not only does your product work, people are already taking advantage of it. Now you can join millions of satisfied Americans who've removed acne from their lives. Forever. Who else wants to lose weight while eating delicious ham sandwiches? Here's your chance to. This lets the customer react to scarcity and exclusivity. From the very first sentence, we've stopped trying to sell. Instead, we're giving them the privilege of buying our product. They will likely ask themselves, what opportunity am I being offered? Which will at least get them through the first few sentences. Here's the chance to protect your smartphone from viruses. Here's your golden opportunity to escape the next stock market nightmare. How to. This is a very simple headline that draws attention directly to your benefits. It's very hard to write a bad headline that leads with the promise of a specific benefit and then explains how to get it. How to make $12,712 per week juggling. No experience needed. How to save hundreds of dollars on car insurance. How to stop smoking in just 12 days or your money back. Are you having a problem? This is a chance to build curiosity and empathy with the reader, who will read on for the implicit promise of a solution. Make sure that, as always, your questions are focused on the reader. Are termites ravaging your home? Are your PPC campaigns expensive and complicated? Are you feeling abandoned by your husband? There are plenty of other concepts that work for headlines, but it's important that whatever you do, make sure it's specific, promises a benefit or reward for reading the ad. Openings. Every sentence you write is a chance for the customer to stop reading. Imagine your potential reader stopping after every sentence you write and asking themselves whether they want to continue. With that in mind, there are two things your opening paragraph should not do, and they both start with a D. Dawdle. When you're first starting to write copy, it's easy to slip into getting sidetracked and taking 2 or 3 paragraphs to get to the good stuff, the meat of your offer. Don't let fluff sneak into your final copy. Be merciless about getting to your point. Deliver the context later if you have to, but give the benefits up front. Divert from your headline. If your headline is strong and has people reading, why wait to deliver on the answer your reader is looking for? Don't you hate movies that start with an intense action scene and then flash back to the hero at home eating a bowl of soup? We can just barely put up with it in a movie, but it's much harder to pull off in advertising. If you have a powerful testimonial, or a series of powerful testimonials, that can do the job. If your opening is so suspenseful that they'll continue reading, that works too. Here are some ways to do that. Tell a strong, interesting story. In short, a good story starts with you in one place and ends when you're in another place. If you started with nothing and now you live in a mansion off the coast of Spain, that's a good story. If your friend is a hillbilly who works at an auto repair place and made a bunch of money selling widgets on Amazon, that's a good story. If you struggled with acne all your life and got called pizza face and now your skin is flawless, that's a good story. State or clarify benefits. This seems like a verbal dead end, but it will usually come with a lot of implicit questions. What is it? How does it work? How do I get it? And you can answer those as you write your letter. Jane Pollock's doggy domination will transform even the most unruly pup into a model citizen. Awesome Amazon riches will make you your first $1 million on Amazon in 5 seconds or less. Our 5-hour video course will show you the life-changing benefits of the Paleo diet. Ask a barrage of questions. If you haven't already let off with a question in your headline, this is a good opportunity to start asking those questions directly. It's generally a good idea to ask those questions in sets of 3s. If you're in doubt, that's what all the politicians do. Is your dog becoming a public health menace? Does he chew shoes and pee on the carpet? Are you afraid to leave him with small members of your family? If you're ready to turn your bad doggy into a well-trained pet, are you still struggling to make your first dollar online? Losing sleep reading ebooks and watching videos? If you're looking for a system that simply works, are you losing hope when it comes to making your mark in the music industry? Are you swamped by competition in your town and online? Are you looking for the beat-making software that will turn you from another face in the crowd to a budding super producer? Make an insane statement. Say something wild that sends the reader into extreme curiosity or disagreement. They're going to want to read just to hear what you're on about and where you're coming from. Just make sure the statement is only insane on the surface. 80% of people aren't going to read past my next paragraph, and I'm glad. If you're browsing the web looking for information on weight loss, your chances of actually losing weight are astronomically low. You can turn your fascination with cartoon animals into internet gold. Bullets. Are you worried that people aren't really reading every word of your copy? Good. They probably aren't. Even the most diligent reader skims a little bit, and the instinct is even stronger when they're looking at an advertisement, no matter how beneficial. That's not always a bad thing. Sometimes people will be so intrigued by your opening that they'll be in a rush to learn more about it and place an order. In situations like these, bullets can be your best friend. They're short and to the point. That means that even if someone is skimming, you can use their reading speed against them to drive your point home. Here's what makes people pause and actually read bullets instead of passing them by. Challenging conventional wisdom. Can you think of a way that your product is a little bit different from the advice they've heard everywhere before? It's a way of raising the value of your product because it suggests you know something the masses don't. Give specific stats. It shows that you've done your homework and makes imagining benefits easier. Go right to the benefits. Remember that you don't have to tell them how something is done. Just pique curiosity and make them want to see what's on the inside. Subheadlines. Make sure you sprinkle in subheadlines throughout your copy, especially if it's a long piece. You want to keep the attention of people who prefer to skim, and you want to continually give closer readers new reasons to stay interested. In elements of your product. As always, focus on problems and solutions. It can turn mundane subheaders into attention-sucking monsters. Instead of testimonials, why not see what other satisfied customers are saying about Miracle Grass? Instead of product features, say, here's what you'll get inside Pinterest Mom Profits. Testimonials. Testimonials are a vote of confidence from someone who has seen your product, used it, and gotten the promised results. Obviously, testimonials can go a long way towards establishing your credibility. But some testimonials are better than others. It doesn't matter if your testimonials are real. If they look fake, you'll turn off customers. That's why you want your testimonials to have concrete, believable details. If you can give a full name, a picture, or a website, you'll go a long way towards establishing credibility. Obviously, the threshold for a credible testimonial changes depending on the niche. If you aren't sure that customers will give this information, just ask people to share their success stories. You might be surprised at how good your results are. When you ask for feedback, it's very important that you ask the right questions in order to get sales-ready responses. Even if you get negative feedback, just write it off as constructive criticism and use it to your benefit. Have you used similar products before? How is this one different? How have things improved since starting to use this product? How long have you been using our product? How do you use the product? What's the most helpful part of the product? What would you say to someone who is interested in buying it? Developing your voice. In order to build trust and increase sales, you must speak to the potential customer as if he is your friend. And you can't be boring. Maybe you can be boring in your real life, but on the page, your words need to spring to life. Most people do not enjoy reading technical, robotic content that isn't personal. So it is important to write your copy with energy and emotion. This draws the reader in and shows that you are a real person with feelings just like him. At first, some copywriters have a hard time with this because they are used to writing straight to the point content, giving just the facts. But once you get the hang of writing your copy with energy, feeling, and emotion, you will quickly see that it can bring in many more sales and actually excites the reader. Not only that, I promise that your regular material will become a lot more dazzling. You can go on and on all day long about the wonderful benefits of the product and services you are writing about, but if the customer does not connect with you, you are more than likely to lose their interest, including the sale. Just the facts? At this point, you may be wondering what the best way is to write copy that is engaging and personal, yet still sounds professional. It's simple. You write as if you were talking to a friend. While you are drafting your copy, imagine you are explaining the company or product to them, and you know that they will not appreciate all of the technical jargon. Write as if you are having a conversation over coffee and really want him to understand why you think that this product or service is so great, from your own personal perspective. Take the opposite route of stating just the facts, for example, that most copywriters utilize when drafting their content. Envision sitting in the coffee shop explaining to the same friend that he should check out XYZ company because they have made $1 billion in sales this quarter, employ thousands of workers, have stores located throughout the world, and have great products. He will more than likely be checking the messages on his phone before you even finish your pitch. If, on the other hand, you sit and talk with him about how your daughter was in a massive problem and how it kept her up at night, and how the XYZ company swooped in and saved the day, plus she's been saving up to buy more of their stuff, I'm willing to bet that by the end of the conversation, you will have your friend hooked on what you were trying to sell and eagerly asking for more details. Can you spot the difference now of how writing your copy with emotion and feeling can dramatically increase sales? In this day and age of increased internet and email use, customers are bombarded with sales copy all day long in every message that they open and every website that they visit. We have all almost become immune to ads and sales pages. That is why it is so vital to stand out in the crowd and be the one that makes the reader stop dead in their tracks to hear what you have to say. Core emotions. As I said earlier, there are a few core emotions on which all other feelings are founded. I discussed a handful of the most powerful ones, but I want to remind you to incorporate one or more of these into your copy to quickly gain your reader's attention. Acceptance, anger, anticipation, disgust, guilt, fear, joy, sadness, surprise. Logical principles. Now that you have grabbed your customer's curiosity, it is time to make the sale. The following are a few logical reasons that customers use to rationalize before making a purchase. When writing a great sales copy, your goal is to beat him to it and answer any questions he may have. You do this by simply stating all of the wonderful benefits of the product, company, or service that you are writing about. The following are just a few examples. Decreases aggravations, improves productivity, improves health, increases accessibility, increases income, increases security, increases safety, reduces expenditures. A great way of understanding these copywriting principles is to just keep in mind that the customer has a problem, which you address by including some core emotions in your copy, and then offer a solution, which you propose by speaking of the logical and beneficial reasons behind purchasing the product. The best copywriters in the industry have mastered this concept and know how to make the sale quickly. Once you have learned the simple process of evoking emotion in your writing, as well as presenting it with logic and fact, you will become the highly sought-after copywriter that you have always dreamed of becoming.